Okay, so just off to the gym, final day, and this is now the final countdown for the Masters Olympia after yesterday's success, winning the over 35s. So I was actually giving a few years away to some of the guys, and then coming top 3 out of a 19 strong open category. Very pleased. You know, the open classes are getting stronger every year, in all fairness, but to still at 40 be getting in the top 3 at some of these shows, and I'm sure certainly some shows that, you know, I could win. There was 2 Olympians yesterday in the lineup. One got second, although personally I possibly thought he might have won it, but that's a debate. And then the other guy got 5th. He was a little bit off, to be honest with you. Very nice physique. So, you know, you could pick the right show and win it, but from the start of the year I always felt like, you know, you're only ever going to turn up for the Olympia, which would be fantastic because it's such an achievement. But the Masters Olympia, being 40, I did feel like I've got a chance of getting a good place in and finishing off on a high. So we're now 13 days out from the Masters Olympia, the final show of a 72 show career after this one. So I'm 71 in. Yesterday was my first win as a pro. It wasn't an open class pro. I'm not going to try and pretend it was, but it was still professional athletes that I won, and a top 3 in the open category. So very pleased. Just walking through Tupelo. I think this is actually called Mill. Called Mill Lane or something like that. They're all mine is actually called Mill Cottage, but look, you can see it's really nice and quiet. So if you're going on a holiday, I would definitely say Tampa, Orlando, Florida. You know, obviously you've got Disney World there. I'll hopefully be going back there with the wife and little girl at some point. Maybe next year. Depends on if we get how much prize we're going to get at this Masters Olympia. Maybe might take me a bit longer to save up, but yeah, this has been just what the doctor ordered, really. First of all, I had my fucking suitcase and luggage, which is much more helpful. Gym, literally 2 minutes away. I've just started recording, so I've left the house as I've done before. It's a nice gym. Everyone's dead friendly. Chilled out. The supermarket just up the road, so I've saved on a car. I did the sort of nice car thing, and it was great. But to be honest with you, 2 weeks of this would have been ideal. Driving around in a nice car with the stress levels I had didn't really do me any favours, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not saying that I would have certainly won in Tampa, but I'm pretty certain I would have looked better, and therefore if you look better you're going to place higher. How much higher? Doesn't really matter, I suppose, at this stage. I got what I came for here. I wanted a minimum top 5 in the open, really, but that was really before I knew how many was going to be in it. I did think it would probably be about 12 to 15. It was 19, and I did think there would be more like 4 or 5 in the Masters classes, but there was 11 and 7. So out of 4 shows, I've got 3 top 3s and a win. So got to be happy with that at this stage. One more to go. Been back on keto. I had a little couple of cookies last night, a peanut butter sort of flapjack sort of cake thing. You know, nothing mental. I would have normally had like a pizza or something like that, but to be honest with you, by the time I got to the bar after having a bit of that, my sugars were a little bit high. I had chicken and rice behind the bar. Obviously flavoured chicken and rice. It was nice. I didn't even finish it. What's wrong with me? But it's a good thing I've woke up maybe it's a kilo heavier, kilo and a half heavier than yesterday. Not even that, I don't think. Now the water tablets are still in the system, so I'll get run over. I'm expecting to rebound a little bit over the next sort of 24 to 48 hours, but nothing uncontrollable. All my meals are cooked for today. I got some cheese wraps, but it's rather than bread, it's cheese. So obviously, being on keto, I can have the fats. So it's a cheese. It's going to be chicken wrapped in cheese with salad. So that looks nice. I've got some steak, a couple of boiled eggs, some chicken and peanut butter, chicken and nuts. I've had eggs for breakfast, 4 whole eggs, 4 whites, with spinach. I've got green beans cooked to go with my steak and my chicken, and also I've got another. I had tilapia and salmon with salad pre-workout. I've got another one of them meals, so I think I did 9 meals, so I've got 7 meals left. I should be back in the UK before I need another one. I might even have a spare one. We know delays can happen, so it's better to have too many. Yeah, so just there's the gym there where the motorcycle is. I think I'm angling that right. Mecca, Mississippi Mecca. Everyone's been dead nice. I was at a bar in the afternoon, yesterday afternoon, in between judging and the finals, and a couple asked me, "Oh, you in a competition?" I was like, yeah, just across the road, bodybuilding competition. "Oh yeah, we know. Our friend's doing it. He's going for his pro card. What class are you in?" I was told them, and they were like dead inquisitive and really interested. I think they've both been a little bit overweight and come down, lost a bit of weight, so they're into it at the moment. My friend's helping him get in shape, and the guy's lost 30 pounds in 8 weeks, so he's looking decent now, in good shape, healthier. I said to him the key is exercise. Even being a little bit overweight, exercise is so important for health. More important than being underweight and not exercising, in my opinion. Obviously getting your heart rate going and stuff like that. Anyway, I went to pay for my meal, which was, again, obviously I was in between pre-judging and final, so it was just, I think I just had some chicken and a couple of sweet potatoes. And the woman was like, "Oh, your drink's been paid for," and a glass of wine. I was thirsty and I wanted to drink something, and obviously wine, if anything, is going to make me go to the toilet. So I did that, and the woman was like, "Oh, it's been paid for." I was like, "Goodbye." A couple sat next to you, so that was very nice of them. I saw them again at the show, got a couple of pictures with them. So yeah, I'd say everyone's been dead nice. The guy that owns the cottage has been nice. He's taking me back to the airport in a couple of hours. So we'll crack on this leg workout and catch up with you soon. Okay, so it's time to get back to some updates. It is now 10 days out from the Masters Olympia. Here I am. It's about 3 a.m. I was in bed for 11, slept till about 2:15. I'm sure I'll have a nap after I finish my cardio. I've done about 45 minutes, but to be honest with you, I've been able to do some bit of jogging in between. Not much, sort of like a minute every sort of couple of minutes, just get the heart rate up. I'm going to be doing 2 sessions today. Shoulders at 6 a.m. with a client this morning, and then I'm going to do legs later on. Might do some recording of the legs. It's going to be the penultimate leg day. I'm going to do another leg day Saturday. That'll be 7 days out, and then that'll be the legs done. We'll fly on Tuesday to Cluj in Romania. We'll do the final couple of sessions there. There's going to be 5 or 6 of us going on the Tuesday. Lee Mansfield, Nathan Edmondson, Aubrey Chew, Herman Matogo, and myself. We're all going to be going on the Tuesday. Pete Hurst might be coming. These are all guys that have been training at my gym or have been prepping this year or previously prepped, leading the show earlier this year. This is Aubrey's first show. Herman's won a few shows over the years, and Nathan's won a few shows over the years with me, and he's been going for his pro card this year. He's about a week behind me in terms of being ready for the show, so he's 17 days out, 17 and 18 days out. I think he's doing Saturday and Sunday. Aubrey, Kellen, and a few of the others are about 5.5 weeks out, and they're all on. Everyone's on target. to reach the goal. So yeah, a couple more updates. I'm going to go through my weight this morning. I haven't weighed myself since the weigh-in at the Tupelo show, simply for the fact the water retention, the fluid from the flight, the rebound from the water tablets, the dehydration. I was obviously going to balloon up. I'm feeling a bit lighter on my feet this morning, got a bit more energy, so I'm expecting the weight to be reasonable. I'll get a video of that later and we'll go through my food for the day. We're back on keto. I've been back on keto since the morning after the show. Had a meal after the show, a couple of cookies, a bit of a flapjack, and then to be honest I had chicken and rice at a bar because I just didn't fancy steak because it just felt heavy. So I had what I fancied. I didn't even finish it. I was in bed early. I was back up doing legs in Tupelo, which you'll have seen previously, or you'll see me walk there and explain what we're going to be doing. So we're on keto since then. That was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. It's the 4th day of keto. We're going to try and stick this in now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we'll see where my body weight is and my fullness. I'm still holding fullness. I'm still holding fluid retention from the carbonate process and the shows. So I may just stay with the keto all the way through. If I do start to flatten out too much, I may start to introduce some carbs on the Monday, possibly even the Sunday, because I've got another double training session on Sunday, so I don't go too flat, and then I'll avoid having carbs and drink plenty of water as we fly. Tuesday, even though it's not a long haul flight, I'm just going to treat it as it is. I'm going to do the keto for the first 3 to 4 meals of that morning until we land, and then I'll start the carbonate process Tuesday night. Wednesday and Thursday we'll be carbon up. The weigh-in is Friday. I'm not 100% sure on the time. I need to figure that out and figure out how many carbs I can have and what the weight needs to be, because if it's an evening weigh-in I'll be waking up heavier and then just probably depleting during the day to make the weight. Ideally it'll be a Friday morning weigh-in. We'll get it all done and dusted and I can weigh in early with very little food, get under my 227, because full now I know I need to be around about that mark. In fact, I stepped on stage in the morning around about the 230 mark for Tupelo. I did dry out during the time between pre-judging and the finals, which is when I put a few more carbs in and a bit of water because I didn't want to flatten out, so that was fine. So it's just going to be a case of figuring out the timings and when I put the carbs in, because I've got to leave myself enough time to fill up, but I've also wanted to try and put myself into a calorie deficit and back onto a diet just to see if I can strip off another pound or so of body fat in the next so many days. So back for the weigh-in shortly. Calorie scales. So still very heavy. Okay, so I'm going to run you through my current food. So start off with chopped mushrooms. These are only fairly small, so very few calories in these. Carbohydrates, fats or anything, next to nothing. So 5 or 6 of these, leave them for tomorrow, pop them in there, start them. So that's my mushrooms. In there I'm going to go kale, rocket, spinach. I sometimes chuck a pepper in there, but I haven't got one at the moment. Today is going to be a double split training day, so I'm actually going to have 7 meals rather than 6. So I'm going to have 3 whole eggs, 3 egg whites, 30 grams of chicken. Each meal is going to be about 40 grams of protein, about 18 to 20 grams of fats. So it's just going to be protein and fats. I've got a couple of meals here. This is usually one of my troop training meals. 100 grams of salmon, 100 grams of cod. Because if you just have cod, there's no fat, too salmon, fat content is too high. So a couple of chicken meals, I'll chop them up. I'll have one with mixed nuts. In here. And one with almond butter. One of my meals, I'll like that in with some veg. That's broccoli, asparagus, green beans. My next meal will be, post-workout meal will be 40 grams of peanut butter, 200 grams of five yogurt and a scoop of Illegal Nutrition whey. My final meal, I'm usually having the 5% of minced burgers, so 200 grams of them is 40 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat. I might put a little bit of cheese on one of them. I might even put a little bit of mayonnaise on one just to get a little bit of fat, just a little bit of low fat mayonnaise. It's mostly cheese because it's a more natural product. Or I might even just put a boiled egg on one of the burgers and I have that with a lettuce burger. So I just buy a round lettuce, cut it off, and make a top and bottom with the burger. They're my normal 6 meals. Today, like I said, I'm going to have 7. So it will be an extra chicken and nuts meal, an extra fish and salad meal to take me up to 7 meals, which is still only 280 protein and around about 130 grams of fats. In combination, there'll be probably 25 to 30 incidental carbs when you add up the nuts and vegetables that you use, but it's all fibrous, so it's not going to take me out of ketosis at all. And like we say, when you've been doing 2 cardio sessions, well, I do one 45-minute cardio session, usually a walk in the evening, which is probably just to the shop just to buy some little bits and bobs. And then today is going to be a double split day. We're going to do shoulders at 6 and we're going to do quads and hamstrings at 5. Thursday will be back. We're going to do chest in the morning, arms at night on Friday. Saturday's going to be legs, and Sunday we're going to go back. We'll be back to this day. It'll be shoulders and perhaps arms again in the afternoon, and we'll do a back session on Monday, and then we'll be fine to remain on the Tuesday. Okay, so today 6 AM shoulders. We're 10 days out. I'm training with a Shamnad here. We started off with the old Y raises, nice and strict, keeping every bit of tension on the side delts, no trap involvement. I worked up to about 17.5 kilos there for 10, and then we worked into a standing side lateral raise. So it's just a little bit biomechanically easier. And I think I ended up on sort of 22.5 on this for 10 reps with 10 partials. So kind of 2 exercises for side delts. Similar, just one was slightly mechanically easier. When it comes to rope front raise, I'm trying to flare the rope out as I come up as well, keeping the thumbs up, really hitting the front delts. About 2-3 warm sets on here, and then we did a drop set. Then we isolated the rear delts, reverse flies. I got to the full stack on this for about 17-18 reps, and then I did a drop set where I did full stack for 15, 80 for 15, and then 60 really slow for about 8. We then come into the shoulder press. So this is the first compound movement now. The first set we did a narrow shoulder press and moved into the superset of a wider one, as you can see here. This was actually my heavy set that I did. Here it is, Shamnad now. So he's doing a wide stance, the wide grip, and then into the narrow grip into the wider grip. So the narrow grip's just placing a little bit more emphasis on the front delts, and this just opens the shoulder up a little bit. Here we go. So it's the front delts here in the handles at the front position there, and then I superset onto the wider stance, which is, as you can see, I'm pretty much hitting failure there, and now I'm going to failure on the more neutral position. And then yeah, we did lying upright rows. I'm trying to tell Shamdad here to keep his the bar off his chest. You'll see when I do it, it stays about 6 inches away from my body at all times, and then we move into a narrow stance here. A narrow grip here, hitting a little bit more traps and still keeping some on the side delts. So here's mine. You can see I'm about 3 to 4 inches off my waist at the bottom and 6 inches off my chest at the top. Bringing my elbows up to squeeze them side delts. And then we go into a narrow stance, narrow grip even. Elbows nice and high, pulling it right up into my sort of face. So with the compound movements, I tend to do kind of a superset. And here we are, the final exercise of the day is the face pulls. What we do, one from the bottom, pulling it up, and then it's slightly again mechanically easier. One from the bottom, one from the top, pulling down. Both targeting the rear delts. You can see I'm pulling the elbows apart, pulling it to my face. I'm only going as far back as the elbows allow me to. I'm not pulling them through my hands. My hands are just grips. I'm pulling my elbows down. One and swap. Let's go. Okay, so that was shoulders done. We did isolation to start off with, and then we finished off with a couple of more compound movements, supersets, and then we did some heavier sets at the end without the supersets. And it's a good pump. And we've got legs later on, 10 days out, Masters Olympia, here we come. Yeah, so as I said, we did isolation first, get the shoulders nice and pumped up, nice and ready, nice and isolated. There was a couple of either drop sets or mechanical drop sets to just increase the volume on the muscles, take it beyond failure. Then we went into more compound movements where we, say on the shoulder press, we did a narrow shoulder press, then a wide, and then the final set was just wide, going as heavy as possible. I think I had 65 aside on the plate loaded press, down to 55 aside for a drop set. And then we did the same with the upright rows. We did all supersets there with the upright rows and the rear delts because it's just made sense, because you hit a failure at one point and then you take it into an easy stance and go again. And they're both targeting exactly the same area. So decided to do all sets, supersets there. Whereas there's a big difference in how much I can press when I just do the back press. So the final set on the back press was just that, and that was like about 25 kilos heavier per side than I was able to do if I started it with the narrow press. So we both had a good shoulder workout. It took about 50-55 minutes. We absolutely blasted it out. Like I say, I've done cardio this morning. Legs is later on. We're going to be filming some back tomorrow, 9 days out. I'll upload this video, and we're going to be filming every couple of days, and it won't be long before we see you in Romania. So tonight I'm going to go through the making of my famous lettuce burgers. We've got 400 grams of 5% mince, because I'm doing 2 meals worth. Done one burger there. We use the cup to make the shape. There's the mixture. There's 40 grams of low-fat cheese, 200 grams of mince, like I said, about a quarter of a chopped red pepper, 3 chestnut mushrooms, and about 25 grams of onions. Just give it a bit of flavour. I'm going to put them in the air fryer over there. About 16 minutes. We'll have 4 burgers, 2 for tonight, 2 for tomorrow. We'll chop the lettuce and then make that into a bap. So here's the finished article. 1 burger there, an open one there, Just got some couple of tomatoes and a bit of spinach and rocket there, and we've got some vitamins here: cod liver oil, krill oil, vitamin D3. We've got some liver and kidney support, cycle support, and a multivitamin there. And we've got greens powder and some, what's it called, glutathione in there. So end of day 10, here we are.